Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year. I just wanted to, better late than never, congratulate some of your classmates who made some really fantastic videos for the clinical creative communication assignment. And I thought I would share them with you here, at least some of them, not all, because they bear sharing. But first, I wanted to show you a video from the Toft household. Lest you think that what we're doing goes unnoticed, my 5-year-old was apparently listening very closely during our EKG session. So without further ado, I give you some creative communication. Okay, Arlo, what is this?
It's a thing when people have things on their heart when they do stuff.
And where do you see this?
At hospitals.
Wow, that's so smart.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Heart of mine, you need blood to survive, but you've got your own supply. Vessels wrap around the outside, but sometimes you see vessels start to occlude. You might feel some chest pain too. Call EMS to give you a ride. When you lose the blood supply to your heart, it starts to die. Elevates ST on your EKG signs. With coronary vessels cause acute infarct. That is an attack of the heart. Fatty foods, you know what they do to you. Your vessels turn into glue. Plaque gets stuck all over the sides. Smoking you, your vessels don't like that too. I'd stop that if I were you. Before more heart tissue dies, when you lose the blood supply to your heart, it starts to die. It elevates STs on your EKG signs. With coronary vessels cause acute infarct. That is an attack of the heart. Now here you are, in bed in the cold ER, waiting a new chest scar. When the cath lab has come for you, 'cause they have a stent for you, some fluids and aspirin too. I'll come visit you in the CICU. When you lose the blood supply to your heart, it starts to die. It elevates ST on your EKG signs. Coronary vessels cause acute infarct. That is an attack of the heart. That is an attack of the heart.
Hello there, my name is Leah and I'm a first-year medical student. Today I want to teach you about heart attacks, but I'm going to do it with sugar cookies. Do hearts look like this? No, they kind of look like a cone, you know, the thing that holds your ice cream, but wider, and laying in your chest, like this. Here, on the surface of your heart, there are things called vessels, or more specifically, coronary arteries. These are very important because they provide your heart with the oxygen it needs to beat properly. When your heart beats, it pumps blood all throughout your body. This gives your muscles the oxygen they need so you can play, and your brain the oxygen it needs so you can learn. However, sometimes these arteries can become blocked with plaque. Dun, dun, dun! This happens because the cells that make up these arteries don't behave like they should, eventually leading to plaque formation, like this. Now that this plaque is here, do you think blood can get through this space as easily? No, but this is not a heart attack. A heart attack occurs when this plaque breaks open, causing a component of the blood called a platelet to stick to the ruptured plaque, forming a blood clot, similar to what happens when you scrape your knee. This blood clot here is called a thrombus. Sometimes the thrombus grows so large that it completely blocks the vessel. Now that this vessel is completely blocked, do you think that blood can get through? No, and this means that the heart is not getting the oxygen it needs. Without oxygen, the heart can become permanently damaged, causing lifelong health problems or even death. So it's essential that blood flow is restored.
And that was a first-year student, but anyway, I shared it with you. Here's some more.
Let's learn how to measure heartbeats and patterns. The heart is like a house with 4 rooms, 2 small rooms, the atria, and 2 big rooms, the ventricles. The body needs something called oxygen to live. We get oxygen from the air by breathing with our lungs. These are lungs. Blood with no oxygen comes in this first small room. It travels through a door to the big room, all the way to the lungs. Then it goes back to the left small room, pushes into the left big room, and then it goes all the way to the entire body. Once the blood returns from the body, we begin again. Your heart is a muscle. Like most muscles in the body, it can squeeze. But how does the heart know when to squeeze? The answer is electricity. The electricity begins with the main guy in charge. Place your hand on your chest. Do you feel your heartbeat? Dun dun, dun dun, dun dun. That's because this guy is telling the heart what to do. It keeps your heart on track. Because this main guy sends electricity, the small rooms are able to squeeze and push blood to the big rooms. But how does electricity pass to the big rooms? Well, there's another guy. This guy is kind of like a guard or a messenger. He allows electricity to pass through and travel all the way around the big rooms. That way the big rooms can squeeze all the way around the body. Sometimes, if the main guy is broken, the messenger guy can be in charge instead. And if the messenger guy is broken, the rest of the heart can be in charge. But they're not so good at being in charge. It's not their normal job. And when that happens, your heartbeat pattern can be weird. So, how do we know if your heart is beating normally? We can't just take your heart out and look at it. That's not safe. Instead, we can stick stickers and wires on your body in certain locations like your arms and your legs and your chest, and we can measure the electricity that goes through your heart. We get this nice graph. This graph is called an electrocardiogram or an ECG or an EKG. This graph is like one whole heartbeat. And this graph is 4 heartbeats all together. Do you see how it's a pattern? This first wave of electricity is just the small rooms squeezing. This next line is the small room talking to the big room through our messenger. The big spike is from the big rooms squeezing. And all this takes a lot of work, so the big rooms have to relax again. They have to take a break. And that's why we see this last wave. Maybe my dance moves can help you remember. This is a normal heartbeat. Can you see the different waves? Sometimes your heart beats too fast. That's because the guy in charge is firing away way too fast. Here in the right small room, There's a circuit of electricity, and it beats 3 times faster than the big rooms. And this is atrial fibrillation, where the small rooms, the atria, are shaking like jello, while the big rooms are just fine. Material around your heart is angry, inflamed, irritated. Right before your spike will look super low, and right after your spike is super high. Sometimes the big rooms, the ventricles, fire all on their own and super fast. What? The ventricles can be even weirder in this oscillating pattern. It's called torsade de pointe. Heart attack. Your third wave will be so high. If that messenger gets sleepy, the small rooms, the atria, have a harder and harder time talking to the big rooms, the ventricles, until finally the heart skips a beat. Ouch. And what if there's a complete heart block and that messenger is broken and the small rooms just can't talk to the big rooms? Well, that's awkward. There are many patterns with many heart problems, but that's it for now, folks.
And that's it. Congratulations, everybody.